So, let's talk about Midnight City. This wasn't that bad of an episode, although it does feel a little weird that, next episode it looks like Oliver's going to come back, and it's only been, only 2 episodes since he was quote-unquote gone from Starling City. And yeah, I mean, and then again, it might have been drug out for another 8 episodes, which I think I would have been, kind of like, okay, can we move on with the main story, please? Looking at you, Ninja Turtles. So maybe, I don't know, I was kind of hoping at least 4 episodes of, Arsenal and Laurel, Roy and Laurel and Diggle, having that little story arc rather than just that little 2-parter, having everything resolved in just this 1 episode. I was kind of hoping for at least maybe 1 or 2 more episodes of them, getting through this story arc, because I feel like it just got, oh, we're all depressed, oh, we're going to keep fighting for Oliver. That's the story in a nutshell. But anyway, I did like where... I'm kind of curious to see where the story is going in here, because let's talk about the flashbacks first off. The flashbacks in here are really making me think of how this is all playing out. I'm kind of guessing that because I'm still going to say that Masayo's son was killed. Masayo and Tatsu's son was killed, but what I'm thinking is, I'm starting to wonder, was it China White who killed him? Killed their son? Or was it Amanda Waller, or something that Amanda Waller did that got his son killed? And, because he keeps saying, he keeps blaming himself about what happened. And they don't really bring it up. And again, you don't see his son, so, yeah. That's going to be interesting to see. And what else? There's a part of me that was kind of thinking, I never realized that penicillin T could get someone back to full health soon enough. I didn't realize that that penicillin T could get someone, back to full, at least, standing again. Or, no need of surgery or whatever, just penicillin T. I can't take it because I'm allergic. No, really, I am. If I took penicillin T, I'd die. Anyway. No miracle cure for me! But yeah, hopefully, I am hoping that Tatsu will explain further into, going into further detail, or at least the writers will go further into detail of how he was brought back from the dead, rather than just saying, oh, he just got some herbs. There you go. I don't know. So, let's talk a bit about Laurel as well. Laurel, you see, I'm not hating Laurel as much as I am, but I have to admit, I have to look at Laurel when she was fighting that one guy to keep this girl from getting murdered or raped or whatever. And she's putting up this very lackluster fight, like flinging the bow staff around. And I was just looking at it like, oh, God, you are embarrassing. And yeah, if it wasn't for Roy, I'm pretty sure worse would have happened to her. Also, I do like the idea of, I actually am kind of cool with her abusing her power in this case, because the guy was a criminal, and he would, the whole, threatening him like that and using that kind of power is at least, getting something done rather than have him be like, I'm not going to talk, you have to be the law works in my favor. Not today, bitch. So at first I was kind of angry about it, but I thought about it more, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a pass, because there are so many times you see this in TV shows and also in real life, where you see the bad, people abuse the power of, the law for their own gain. Like, they don't want to talk, they don't have to talk. So I was kind of, it was kind of nice to see Laurel kind of grease the wheels there for all the right reasons. So, anyway, what else? Let's talk about, actually, no, I'm going to have a few more things to say about Laurel. I'm cool with Laurel. I've rewatched some of the past episodes, and I was like, you know what, Laurel, I can kind of see where you're coming from of, you know, the whole justice for your sister thing, because your sister became such an inspiration to her, and it really had an impact on her because she just got her back, and she kind of treated her pretty shitty when she did come back, and they were just finally reconnecting, and then, oh, she gets killed. So I'm actually more inclined to, you know, to be on her side. And even when Oliver was like, no, you're too emotional, you can't be, you know, you can't be the canary, and then he does, you know, oh, my sister, you know, connected and all that, we're connected and all that, and I was like, really? Who's too emotional now, Oliver? Anyway, again, it took, you know, I was very indifferent about Laurel in the first season, hated her in the second season. Hopefully, you know, with her finally being Black Canary, I hope that they do something, you know, they don't pull any more of this CW bad female writing bullshit, and do something cool with her, because it's off to a great start. Because I thought about it more with her being so embarrassingly bad as Black Canary. I thought about it, I was like, well, she's only had training as a she's only had boxing training and that only lasted. That was only going on for a few weeks. So yeah, maybe she was, you know, maybe maybe that maybe just didn't. All the lessons didn't coalesce. You know what I mean? But moving on now to Roy. Roy in here was really good. I really liked how he became the voice of reason, and also he stood up to Malcolm, you know, talking about, you know, Thea, even though he's not in love, you know, he's obviously does feelings for her, but he still respects her boundaries as, you know, just being friends. And I really like that, you know, there's this great moment where he's saying, you know, you're poison, you know, you're going to hurt Thea in one way or another, because that's all you do. And then when Malcolm takes a few steps forward, for a brief second you can see on Roy's face, oh god, he's going to kill me. You can just see it right there, like, and I had a fear of, you know, Roy was going to get killed or at least brutally beaten down by Malcolm in that, you know, in that scene where he confronts Malcolm about it. And yeah, there's that brief moment. I was like, "Oh God, he's gonna get his ass kicked in this scene, isn't he?" Because let's face it, Roy's good, but Malcolm is better. Anyway, and another thing with Thea and Malcolm. Thea and Malcolm in here. This is here's their whole subplot in a nutshell right here. Here we go. We have to leave the city. No, we have to leave the city. No, we have to leave the city. No, okay, we'll stay in the city. That is it right there. And Thea, for the most part, does give, all joking aside, Thea does give a really good explanation of being like, look, you trained me never to run away, and look what we're doing now. We are running away. You know, what kind of message does that send to everyone else? So, I'm actually cool with that. But again, it was kind of that was me joking aside. That was actually a really good scene, because now she's now taking what Malcolm trained her and took it to heart. Felicity in here, she gets that revelation of, oh, maybe we should keep fighting in Oliver's honor, you know, in Oliver's memory and Sarah's memory. That kind of comes out of nowhere. Also, Ray in here, the whole relationship between her and Ray, that's getting completely stagnant. It's kind of like, oh, it's adorable because Ray's being so nice to her, and now it's getting kind of stagnant. And I still like, you know, Brandon Routh as Ray Palmer, but yeah, I'm kind of, it's all, you know, that whole characteristic is like, oh, I wasn't thinking of it, you know, I wasn't thinking of my fiance, I was thinking of you. I was like, really, come on. Oy. Anyway, so also the whole thing with when they use Ray's helicopter to storm Brick's house, his home base. Did anyone did at least Brick see? Oh, they got the helicopter from Palmer. I know. I'll go attack Palmer's base or his. Why do I keep getting those mixed up? Go to his building, or maybe to his home, kidnap him, and beat the crap out of him, and maybe kill him, because he's obviously has some sort of connection to, you know, my enemies. Someone had, because you could, and don't say like, oh, they did, you couldn't, how would they know it was that helicopter's connected to Palmer? It has Palmer Industries on the side of the helicopter. Come on, I know it was dark, and it's a pretty, it's pretty dark in the glades, but come on, someone had, one of Brick's guys had to have been like, hey boss, that thing's from Palmer, you think they're, I don't know, you think they're connected, you sure? Okay, I guess they're not connected. I don't know. That's just how my mind was thinking. Anyway, speaking of Brick, let's talk about Brick. I really liked how he just came in with all this swagger, and he was just like, you know what, you're gonna give me the Glades, or I'm gonna kill these two aldermen. After he kills one of the three he kidnaps in a very ballsy move where he just busts into a city council meeting and kidnaps 3 aldermen, shoots a couple more, and then he heads out. And when they try to get them back, when Roy and Laurel try to get them back, and Roy hits him with an arrow, he's just like, okay, you want to play like that? Bye, alderman, pop pop, and leaves him out. I was like, in most cases, you see that where the guy gets wounded, and he's like, "Ah, oh, damn it!" And then they go away. Brick's like, "No, you earned this." Blam. So I was like, "Huh, it's gonna." He's a very, Vinnie Jones's Brick has been a very entertaining villain, but sadly, I don't think we're gonna see him come next up. He may be a recurring villain, mind you, throughout the rest of the season. But I think this might be the last we see him in this next episode. Could be wrong though. They've managed to do some very interesting twists throughout in this episode. So who knows what they'll do in the next one. And again, how they're portraying Brick is pretty much how I kind of want to see Wilson Fisk, Kingpin done in the Daredevil TV show. This very menacing, all the chessboards are on, all the pieces of the chessboard are working in his favor. That kind of, incredibly strong, very sharp-minded character that doesn't have to touch you to hurt you. That's the kind of Kingpin I want. So, yeah. But I still have a lot of faith in the Daredevil TV show. So, what else? What else is there? Oh yeah, that whole thing with that kid who has this weird connection with Thea. Yeah, it turns out he's he's a member of the League of Shadows, or League of Assassins, excuse me. Yeah, he's a member of the League of Assassins. I sure as shit didn't see that coming. Did any of you? Because I thought, because his name was Chase, so I was kind of thinking in my head, maybe he's Danny Chase from, Teen Titans. So I was thinking, oh, maybe you bring in another Teen Titan. You had Brother Blood, you got Roy, you got a few other things. So maybe I was thinking maybe he's Danny Chase who just doesn't have his telepathy yet. You've got Flash now. He's a member of League of Assassins. Oh, okay. And it looks like Roz, excuse me, in this continuity, Roz is going to raise hell when he finds out Malcolm isn't leaving Starling City. So. Really interested to see how that's all going to play down, because it looks like another huge attack on Titan. I mean Starling City. Yeah, not a bad episode, but I feel like all the resolutions, everything gets resolved real quick. Because I feel, again, and I brought this up earlier in the review, I feel like at least this whole story, it shouldn't have been like so quick to bounce back. I would have been fine with one more episode, like make this a trilogy of all the characters kind of dealing with Oliver's death. Make it a 3-act story, and then the fourth part of this has Oliver come back. It just felt really quick how they all kind of handled that on a whole, didn't it? Not to say that was bad. I'm just saying, like, I kind of wish there was more to it. Like, there would have been a little more interesting, not to pull it out too long, just to, like I said, 3 episodes max of Oliver not around, and, Roy, Diggle, and Felicity trying to deal with everything, and also Laurel as well. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what did you all think of this episode? Did y'all like it? Hate it? Comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.